Aaron Singerman here at RxMuscle.com at the IFBB Wings of Strength show in Chicago, Illinois. And I happened to be looking around, and I found a big guy, first of all. And I said to myself, I'm recognizing him. And at Junior Nationals here in Chicago, just literally down the road at the Hyatt, I saw you compete against Kevin Jordan and them at Junior Nationals 2009.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I knew Sergio Jr., right?
That's it.
It's a famous name in bodybuilding, right? And I guess a lot to live up to.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, a lot to. So I hadn't seen you in a while. I hadn't seen you on stage in a while, since then. So I want to know what you've been doing and what are the future plans?
Yeah, well, after that Junior Nationals, I realized I couldn't wait anymore for that heavyweight. So I figured I'm a super, so I need to take a year off and gain some weight. And I did. I took the gamble, and I took the year off. And I was getting ready for a show that qualified me for Nationals. I took the overall, and then 5 weeks before Junior Nationals, I got hurt, and I had to have a hiatal hernia surgery, which made me lose about 50 or 60 pounds. It took me completely out, enough to where I'm just now able to be confident to get back on stage. So I just wanted to kind of disappear, kind of go in the shadows, and it was good. I mean, it was good for me mentally. I was able to revamp my whole, training, and you really get to know who's really for you when you're not on stage and who really supports you. And now I know who my real friends are, and now I'm ready to get back on stage.
So when will be the next show? What are you? I know you said you're just getting back into it, but I'm sure you have a show in your sights. What is that?
Yeah, well, I need to, since I really haven't done a show for 2 years, so I have to qualify for Nationals again. So I'm going to do the Ironman here in Chicago. Okay. It'd be nice, do it. I mean, this is where I'm from. I moved to Florida 7 years ago, but now that I'm back, I'd like to do a show in front of everybody and qualify for Nationals. I think it's like a week or two right before Nationals. And then I need to step on a stage, and I need to see where I'm at. I probably could do Junior Nationals again, the one that just passed. But I'd rather get crushed, and I'd really know where I'm at. I feel like if I get beat by people that I can learn from, I'm just going to learn a lot more than entering, a really small show and taking the overall and not really learning anything. So I need to step on a national stage, and I need to see really where I'm at. In November, we'll see.
So obviously, I'm sure it comes up all the time. I'm gonna ask you about a little bit about your dad. So when you got injured and everything, did you go for your dad for advice? I know he never really suffered a serious injury like that where he had to have serious surgery, but did you go for him and say, hey, Dad, what do you got for me?
No. I mean, the conversations that me and him have nothing to do with bodybuilding. I feel like even if he could have an input, there's just really not much that he can really help me out with. I mean, the workouts and the old school training and any kind of tips and tricks like that, I mean, are greatly, a help. But he didn't diet. He didn't do cardio. He didn't cycle carb. It's just a lot of stuff that he's just not going to understand. And all his injuries came in after he was done with his career. So learning how to train around injuries, I just knew it wasn't really going to be any help. I really get more help from my mother and my fiance. Those are the people that really are in my corner.
So what would you say? I'm kind of getting the feeling that what you're saying is that your dad's really not into it at all anymore. He's not feeling the bodybuilding thing.
Yeah, I think that, the older guys, they just get burned out. And, I can't imagine for 40 years coming to these shows over and over again, and then, and then he's got all his issues that, he's holding grudges from 40 years ago. That stuff happened with him that none of us know anything about, and you would have to be there to understand it. But I feel the way that he's kind of taking it out on bodybuilding and younger fans and stuff like that isn't right, but that's my job, and I'll fix that. And I'm here to show that my name is a good name in bodybuilding. It's not a name that is kind of hushed around and stuff like that. He burned a lot of bridges, and I'm here to fix them.
Well, for me, I don't know about all these other, I guess the political or whatever else stuff goes on. To me, the name is, this is a great name, so it's, and I'm sure to most people watching the interview or listening could agree with me, So I think that if anything, people are going to look at you a little harder, maybe in a positive way. You're up on stage. They're certainly going to look, when they see that name, the judges look on the list. They go, whoa.
Right, they're for sure going to take a double look. I mean, that's for sure the part of bodybuilding that I don't have to worry about. Every other bodybuilder has to really get their name out there and stuff like that. But on the other side, a lot of people don't have their pictures compared to Mr. Olympias. And the best way I can describe it is, obviously, I look nothing like my dad. I would kill to have his back, and a lot of other body parts. But the best way I can describe it is, I had a twin 40 years ago that competed, and he killed. And now I'm doing it, and I'm doing great. but I'm not where he's at. And that's how it's always going to be, I feel, even with him, until I go pro. So I need to show people that I'm serious, and this is all I do.
There's part of when you're in the gym, when you're training for a contest, there's part of what's going through your mind is that you want to prove your dad wrong, that you want to, prove that you can go pro, that you can achieve that kind of success.
I mean, for sure, with the 6 o'clock in the morning empty stomach cardio, you got to have some kind of motivation. And a lot of times, a lot of my motivation is the people that tell me that I can't do it or I won't do it. But surrounding yourself with the right people. I finally am now part of a good team with RX Pharmacy, and I feel like they really care more about me and not the name part of it, and that helps me want to do good for them in a positive way and not so much the negative. But yeah, absolutely, every bodybuilder, no matter what they tell you, has got some guy that they're in their head. For sure, I'm going to beat him.
Yeah, of course. Whether it's some bully that picked on you in high school or if your dad telling you can't do it, somebody is there.
Everyone watch Pumping Iron. Everyone's throwing out some name over and over again while they're lifting. Exactly.
Well, for Sergio Oliva Jr., Aaron Samerman, RxMuscle.com.